If the character of the demography of a community changes, there is hardly anything you can do. They will take over from you. It is just a matter of time. No matter the struggle, we can strategize and give them a portion. But they say they are going to be zero. It's a waste of time. And I'm an advocate of this thing for the past 30 years. Because I grew up with them. I went to school with them. I know their capability. I know their tendencies. I know their unity of purpose more than us. I know their focus. And I know they can defeat us if you are not careful. I am very sure. I don't have any doubt at all. What I can say, where they are predominant, let us leave it for them. You cannot defeat them. Even if you harass them, they are a lot more aggressive than us. I just saw some touts disturbing them. If they attack you, you are gone. Don't push them to the wall because they are not like us. Their own upbringing is fight or finish. They've gone through it before. So
don't blame IPOB for whatever happens after December 15th, 2023, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released on that day. It is already public knowledge that the Nigerian Supreme Court has slated December 15th, 2023, as the day it shall give its final judgment on the issue tabled before it, between the IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu versus the federal government. Recall that 2 years ago, the Nigerian government abducted and extraordinarily renditioned the IPOB leader from Kenya on false charges of committing treason against the Nigerian state. Although a year later the Nigerian appellate court disagreed with the federal government and went on to discharge and acquit the IPOB leader. However, since October 13, 2022, the successive Nigerian governments has refused to respect the decision of the lower court, thus continued to illegally detain and incarcerate the IPOB leader till date, and then approached the Supreme Court to downswing the judgment of the appellate court. It is important to emphasize that the appeal court acted in line with the provisions of the Nigerian constitution as well as international law and charters on the basic factors of concentration, which is the quest right to self-determination, which Mr. Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra movement he leads profess, and the method by which he, Kanu, was subsequently brought to Nigeria for trial. Be it as it may, the fate of Mr. Kanu, IPOB, as a non-violent self-determination movement, Nigeria as presently constituted is dependent on the decision the Supreme Court proffers, come December 15, 2023, being the highest court in the land, where all train stops at. IPOB is almost at the brink of exhausting all legal and conventional means within the confines of both Nigerian and international law, to resolving the age-long dissonance over the injustices meted against the people of eastern Nigeria, Biafra, without violence or belligerence. Wars and conflicts are unpredictable. Thus, there is no gainsaying that everything must go through as a particular party has planned beforehand. However, objective inferences can be drawn based on facts available to adjudge the possible trajectory things could be headed. For instance, during the Nigeria-Biafra War, the Biafrans who fought gallantly in defense of their life and statehood, but having been extremely short-handed on the essential support, needed to prosecute their defensive campaign, unlike the offending federal military government, who got 3 major world powers behind it, namely the United Kingdom, United States and Soviet Union amongst others, had an unparalleled advantage over nascent Biafrans. In fact, this was the key reason while France withdrew its covert support for Biafra. In their view, Biafra was doomed to lose. On this premises, can we stand to make an inference that the advantage the Nigerian government had during the Biafran War has shrunk drastically? Such overwhelming upper hand can no longer be guaranteed, as modern warfare and its complexities have broadened extensively. And the international community is better informed on the Biafra issue. They are no longer fed with one-sided propaganda where they were convinced that the aggrieved were the aggressors. We earnestly pray and hope that the above illustration does not play out. This is why it is imperative that the Nigerian Supreme Court prevails on the issue objectively and the federal government obliges and hearken to the voice of reason to avert the catastrophe that might hit already fragile entity. As Africans, we should be able to resolve disputed issue within ourselves without interference or guidance from the outside. The Biafra quest is long overdue to be addressed, and conducting a referendum is the most harmless and painstaking means to resolve it once and for all. May reason prevail over arrogance and obscenity. Stay tuned and have a blessed day.
Don't push them to the wall.
Odogwa kataka mmọnwụ kwa ya bebuli tụrụ onye sụrụ asụsụ ọnwụ na-anụ ya sụrụ talita kume amata onye ju na rue nwana bụ ọrịa ebube Zion ministry ekulienu ebube nwanọzi obi ebulite ụzọ atụọ Matoyi no mo, oya ire to awuchie no mo. Kaniru choba mo, kaniru choba mo. Orugwa koseru, umugi biara nirugi, umugi biara nirugi. Iyekwe kodiro tu agaba niru. Oh, where am I? There is more. Everyone knows me. Everyone knows me. Everyone knows me. Marisa ikarira tulodo. Onye ya na-egbu ka ọkụ n'ụwa. Olu ya na-agba egbe eluigwe o. Kwa gị chiri eze chi anwụ anwụ. Matoyi na chwajo mo oke mo ne ri mo payaba katisi ebuo lenu wago wa Maria biaruela no wo ri konsi ememe oke mo biano oke mo biano oke mo biazienu mwani no ni rugi neche Mwaje jolo, mwaje abike, mwaje bamba. Owere muo neri muo, aya. Owere muo neri muo, owere muo neri muo. Ebuli tu sato, the bright morning star. Oke muo neri muo, ye na bogi ki naza, aya. Wagi bakuchara nomo, wagi bokuro meyono ya. Obuma daradiye, akama bwadi neluchuku. Ibukwa mawa mamwe ayara. Ebube namuku, ebube namuku, ebube namuku, ebube namuku.